see all ya. On behalf of the Wild Salmon Defenders Alliance, on behalf of the Indigenous people all along the river, I'm one of the voices for the people of the river, and I'm proud to be here. My fellow Alec, my sister here, we're both from Squaw First Nation, and Squaw First Nation has always been in support of getting the fish farms out of the water. We've always hosted whatever needed to be done, you know, for fundraising or for hosting the wild salmon caravan or hosting the canoe paddles, you know, for our wild salmon. I'm very proud to be a member of the Squaw First Nation, and I've come to get involved in this movement since 2009, 2010, when the walk down the island was led by Dr. Alexander Morton, and
Get Out Migration.
The Get Out Migration, yes. That's what really inspired me to get involved. And she worked with Anissa Reed, and they worked very hard together. Our hands go up to Anissa Reed for all the good work that she did. But she got tired, and she brought me a whole bunch of signs and said, "Here, Eddie, you take over." There's a boycott happening, so I said, "Me?" I said, "Yeah, okay." So I did, and now look at all these beautiful people. All of them have joined what has become now not the boycott operation, but a Wild Salmon Defenders Alliance. And Kurt Beardsley is a more recent ally to the Wild Salmon Defenders Alliance. And it's through his good work and our good connection that we're building on an international force to get the fish farms out of the water. And I've come to know that Hereditary Chief George Quocksister Jr. How you say your First Nation name there?
Quocksister.
Yeah, Quocksister. Yeah. So I'm very happy that he has taken such a powerful, strong leadership, you know, to be a good steward of his food resource and his territory, his sacred waters.
All of our food sources.
All of the food sources, yes. And in your land and waters. And I've been inspired through your participation on the Sea Shepherd Operation Virus Hunter over the last couple of years or so. And you've shocked the world with the evidence that you've provided. And that hard evidence should be persuasive enough for anybody to say, yeah, we got to immediately get those doggone fish farms out of the water. And so I know that the Sea Shepherd Martin Sheen boat last year, they came with Martin Sheen actually, and I was happy to see Martin Sheen and get to know him a little bit. What a fine young man he is.
A young man.
and to have him become part of Sea Shepherd like this and offer this research vessel is awesome. I was very happy to get to know Carolyn Castro? Yeah. Carolina Castro. And she's been a very strong leader, very strong-minded, and works with such a great crew, a powerful, you know, a really good crew. I got to know Sue Waters. I tasted all her good food there last year, and that was wonderful. And I was happy to be a little bit of a part of this operation. We have been following what is going on. We tell people about Sea Shepherd and what they're doing. Our hands go up to Sea Shepherd for doing the work that you're doing. Every time Sea Shepherd shows up, that's a signal. That's a signal there's something wrong. That's a signal there's something in the ocean that is being endangered. And in this case, it's our wild salmon, and it's our orcas too, because the orcas depend on the wild salmon. And the wild salmon, of course, support an ecosystem all across British Columbia. And so we're so happy that your crew is with you again for Virus Hunter number 3, you know, to go out and get even more hard evidence. And we cannot stop, you know, putting in the face of Dominic LeBlanc and all the other politicians, federal and provincial, keep shoving it in their face. Look, you crazy people, there's dangers going there. This is a dangerous operation. Get those fish farms out of the friggin' water, you crazy people. What's going on here? So, to dislodge something like that, I never thought it would be that hard, but it is. My wife is just astounded that, you know, what will it take, you know, for them to wake up, smell the coffee, smell the farm fish, and get them out of there, you know. It's ridiculous. But I feel a little heart. I feel good that the winds of change seem to be blowing in favor of wild salmon now.
A little bit.
You know. And so that we must drive this to the last until we get those fish farms out. We can't we can't let up the pressure, you know, on both levels of government to do the right thing.
I always feel encouraged when Sea Shepherd comes because I think if they're going to do action.
That's right.
We'll move from talking and protesting is good and getting it out there, but they move to action and get things done. It always makes me feel good that they're with us on that.
So the last thing that I want to mention, besides, I want to continue bragging about Alex and Carolina Castro and your Sea Shepherd crew and my good friend here, George Quocksister.
And I have 4 sons and a daughter. This is our baby, the youngest son, Rocky.
Rocky is good. Thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, we are at the last stand for wild salmon. That is why we're organizing this last stand for wild salmon paddle. It's going to take place on August the 12th. We're going to have big canoes that are going to come from Washington. They're going to come from the island. They're going to come from the river. And we're going to do a paddle from Scowlitz First Nation to Shway First Nation, which is our neighbor, Squaw First Nation's neighbor. And we're going to have a big feast. And all the paddlers are going to be seeking sponsors for the boat that they're in, for the canoe that they're in. Oh.
Not a boat.
A canoe. And all the proceeds after the expenses are taken care of are going to go to the legal battle that is being undertaken by the indigenous people up in the Broughton Archipelago area.
Just like to say also, April 20th we had a new elected chief happen, April 20th, and he basically said right away, he's with me, farm fish has got to be gone.
Yeah, hey.
But we have a really terrible major struggle. We have our own Octagate fisheries. They're on our reserve. They're our people, our blood, our family, ta-da. They have a committee there, etc. And they're in a bad spot, which is the whole problem. They've been taking farm fish money for many years now, and I'm guessing well over $2.5 million. So therefore our native fisheries can't go with me to the farms. They're holding back. They're scared to go because the farm fish guys will throw a lawsuit at them probably or something. But that's where we are. Our native fisheries is, to put a long story short, they've been dirty. The counselors across the way on our Cape Mudge-Weewakai Reserve have been trying to tell them. A lot of them are from the Weewakai, the committee of the Octagate fisheries. The one counselor who was a couple years older than me, he phoned me twice in one day, said he's been trying to tell them, stop taking that money from farm fish, it's not worth it. our food source is getting destroyed out there, right?
That's right.
So here we are. We do have our own fisheries on our reserve in our territory, but coincidentally they're dirty like the government in DFO. You know, so I'm not sure what's going on up Alert Bay with their Actigate fisheries. Probably in the same boat. I'm not sure, but they have the native corporation there as well, called Actigate Fisheries. So that makes it hard.
Complicated.
Basically, I'm still on my own. The chief says he's with me, but I got nothing coming my way up. For the fact is that the office there is so terribly messed up. We were short 4 ounces when he got in, then he put 2 on hold on a kind of money laundering, etc. So he's short-handed, so he's got a lot in front of him before he can work around to getting to me to get this done. But I left him like 10 pages in a brown envelope. And then one of the pages is the big one. I want them to bring us to the hatcheries up above Kemp River there. There's 2 marine harvest hatcheries there, and they got bad fish in there. As you all see in Alexander's video, their fish are bad going into the packer from the hatcheries. So
Spreading the virus all over
that
the
says,
coast.
you know, it hooks onto the White River out the back door. So what they're flushing into the White River is going into the Salmon River. It's destroying everything in the waters there. For how many years the hatcheries have been there, right? But yeah, it's a must to get us there, our people there, to the hatcheries. They're the ones who are supposed to do so. Actually, I had the chairman of Actigate Fisheries promise me. Alex was at that meeting November 30th, and Angela Koch was there. He's the council of our reserve. He's also chairman of Actigate Fisheries. He promised me on November 30th we'd go to the hatcheries like I want. That still hasn't happened, and it's June now, right? So that's what I mean. It's real draggy through the dirtiness up there. We should have gone to that hatchery a long time ago.
And they're still in court trying to get the virus tested in those hatcheries, right?
Even though Alex won that, what was it, 5 years ago?
But isn't the Broughton or the Namgis also has a court case
Yeah.
pending? Yeah. Doing
So
everything they can.
the way I look at it now, they've invited me to court. As far as I'm concerned, inviting me to court. Some of the videos did go into the court the other day. So as far as inviting me into court, let's take the whole 9 yards evidence to court through me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Eddie?
Yeah.
They challenged me. Now I have to challenge them and bring all videos. They put a couple videos in the courthouse the other day.
He said that you assaulted someone?
Kind of a thing, yes.
Like they make stuff, blow
But
stuff up.
what went on that day, I can actually say, because this is all this year, I can actually say everybody was pretty pleased about the way that day went.
Good.
When is your day in court?